Attention, this is the voice of truth, the sound of living love, with a special update on World War III and on how we're taking control of time. Currently, little children, we're transitioning in this digital simulation from the place of many back to the place of one. From the world of pluralistic reality back to the world of the reality of one. Now it is time to reveal the mystery of a particular celestial body that has been hidden in plain sight. Now consider in the simulation, you have the elements of time, space, and sound. And contrast that to the real world. In the real world, time does not exist. In the real world, space does not exist. The only element that this simulation and the real world have in common is the element of sound. However, little children, the sound in this digital simulation is artificial, as everything else is. The sound in this simulation is indeed manufactured. Now please consider, in the real world, the sound there is true sound. And instead of time, you have what is constant. Instead of space, you have what is infinite. You're not dealing with motion, but instead, you're dealing with what is solid, permanent, and fixed. In the real world, there are no words. In the real world, there are no languages. In the real world, little children, instead, there's simply what is, what has been, and what will always be. A state of being that is inhabited by just beings of light and life. That is the real world. Now, considering all of that, little children, that means in this simulation, with everything, including sound, being artificial, the only thing that is real can only conclusively be found inside of you. And that brings us to the device that transmits the images and sound in this place. And before we reveal the mystery of this device, we must first address its makers. As you've heard of the Anunnaki, they are the makers of Babel, the noise that holds this delusion together. Now, the word Anunnaki has a meaning. Anunnaki decodes to moon maker. Moon makers. And they make moons in order to harvest energy from out of the depths of the Creator's heart. And when it comes now down to the mechanism of the moon, it is no longer a mystery. The moon, little children, is also called the second sun and hidden God. And this particular celestial body, which has been hidden in plain sight, is in fact highly treasured by this dark entity, the race of the gray. The moon, throughout history, has been adored by cultures all over the world. Now, this clocking device that has been adored has great reason to be adored by them, as it is the very source of all that exists in the simulation. Every image can only hold together by the existence of this device. This eye in the sky uses a technology that combines electricity, bells, and magnets to transmit and project this world. As you've been told, the sun is one part of a movie projector. It would be the bulb. Well, the moon would be the lens to that same projector. All computers, systems, watches, satellites, microchips, they are all based on this moon technology. And this clocking device cloaks and conceals the true nature of reality, keeping us separated from the real world of one. But now, little children, we have revealed the mystery. Now, there are two examples. One that I've already mentioned about how this lens in the sky works. If you look at a movie projector and the lens, and you picture a movie reel running a roll of film through it, that would be the equivalent of a calendar and you going through the day. And that roll of film being the calendar, if you picture it, has still images framed one by one by one in a straight line. And in that roll of film with those images, that would translate into this world as being the equivalent of a day within that calendar. And this is why you hear of moon phases, because the image has to be phased in and it has to be phased out in order for this simulation to function. And all of that must be done with the lens in focus. Now, little children, the moon has solar and lunar eclipses for this very reason, so that it can maintain its charge of electricity to continue to properly function. However, its ultimate source is the Creator that has been bound within the metal elements, as the magnet within the moon is used to magnetically bind all things together, including the body, so that it can correctly function. Just like you see a magnet that combines metal elements to hold an object together. And this is what they call gravity. Now, little children, another example would be when you see a cartoon artist and they take your favorite cartoon character and they draw an image of them on a single piece of paper inside of a book. Then they draw on a separate piece of paper the same cartoon character in a slightly different position. And they continue to do that on the third page, the fourth page, so on and so forth, until they have arrived to the completion of their work, whereby one would then take that book and, based on how quickly they flip through that book, what you see and what you end up with is the appearance of fluid motion. And this is how the eyes are utilized to generate the appearance of 3D images moving all around you in fluid motion. Little children, all of this now has been brought out to you for this reason, because we have decoded and exposed the enemy for what it is. Remember, little children, that the same entity that made the moon, they are the ones who made that device of mind control you call the Bible. And they are now on the run because reality is beginning to transition and many are experiencing the changes. And this is the war cry of victory now, because this is the moment that the Lion Star has been waiting for a long, long time. Now, little children, the reason why we gotta make this announcement is because, as I previously stated, we're about to experience a great event in the sky that hasn't been seen in over 500 years. And this is to express to you that we have accomplished our mission. We have achieved our goal. The digital simulation is about to shut down, and this is how it's going to go. You're going to see many glitches increase in the simulation, starting with sound. You want to monitor your electronic devices like your cell phone and computer systems. And you'll also start to see glitches in gravity. The gravitational pole is about to shift. The gravitational pull of the moon has been weakening, and that is the source of all of the glitches in this digital simulation. And this is to tell you one thing for sure, little children, that because you're hearing the voice of truth, if you can feel that what I'm saying is real, I'm telling you that it is the sound of true love alone that will take you home, little children. It's not based on your intellect, but the only way you get home, it's not based on your knowledge, but it's only based on your heart. It's only based on your desire. And the Lion Star's telling you because he's very excited to make this announcement, this war cry of victory. All Babel has got to cease. And in order for that noise from the moon to cease, in order for the simulation to stop, you've got to take control of time. And that means you got your own voice of truth inside of you that you have to express. See, you have your own sound, little children. And the little children that you have been assigned to be in my presence, he's asking you, where is your voice? Can you prove that you're real? And he's telling you these things now because he's against those who try to make this world real. See, he doesn't like it when the enemy goes around trying to project this world as being permanent, solid and fixed. When anybody who's real knows that it's going to fade away. And if it's fading away, if it's being phased out, then how can it be the real world? And what he calls them, this is what true love calls those who try to deceive my people. He calls them fakers and takers, imitators and instigators, liars, deniers, jokers and hoaxers, stealers and killers, mockers and scoffers, actors, hijackers, crooks with books. This is the war cry. And true love is telling you, get ready to experience a change that you've never experienced before. True love is telling you, get ready to experience a shift in your heart. Not a shift in the sands, but a shift in your state of being. Because I'm telling you, little children, that it's the sound of true love that's changing this world. It's the sound of true love that's shutting down this simulation. And he's telling you now that you got to get ready, because not only is your reality going to change, Not only is your heart feeling a shift, but what you've been looking for is about to hit. You're going to see a stone of fire, and that stone of fire is going to strike the moon, and the world will be left speechless. But for you who are real and true, you are going to experience true life. So you better get ready, because the change you've been looking for is on its way. Get ready now, because Kansas is going bye-bye. Get ready to experience real life.